Good morning, everybody. This is Kim McCulley with WSQL 1240, and I am here in the studio with Michael Trufant and Susan Evans from Imagine Brevard. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are you here to tell us about this morning, Michael?
We had a big night last night. You know, a week ago last night we had the huge Imagine Brevard launch, 150 people, 600 ideas across 8 areas. And then from there, everybody goes, gee, a great party. Well, now what?
Right.
We immediately got the 600 in the database, came back, reported it here on WSQL of what the trends were. We found we had 20 volunteer project leaders sort of show up and sign up. We did training with them on Thursday, and not a week later, they got together last night and went through all 600, had a huge discussion. Susan facilitated them through to find really, they came out with 7 broad categories that now we're going to announce first here on WSQL AM 1240. We're going to announce what those we're going to announce what those were, and now it's time to open up and invite the community back for very specific 7 items to start and those discussions. And Susan facilitated that, did a fabulous job. There were volunteer project leaders as young as 14
that is
there.
Very exciting.
And it's a group that there were, and it wasn't an A-list group, it was literally a group of very diverse community. There was no shining stars or big guns in there.
Right.
It was just a
They're
group.
all going to be shining stars.
Well, they're on their way up. Well done. Good defense.
Yeah.
And so, but ultimately it was 14 just interested peers who came together to lead. They're setting the agenda for what's going out. And I have to tell you that I sat there quietly and was scared to death of what might come out. That they might get stuck in the details of the weeds.
Sure.
But as Susan's going to tell you, it was a great list of core issues that we're going to put out. And so I'll turn it over to Susan and fire it up.
All right. Awesome. So Susan, tell me what all transpired last night.
We had a lot of fun. Now, he said we had as young as 14. I think we had 14 to 60s. Right. And we had some born and raised here, and we had some people that have just moved here.
Oh,
so it was a really good
yes.
mix of people. But what we did was we kind of threw up. Sorry, that was horrible.
Wrong use of words there.
We tossed up on boards what we garnered through the list of 600.
Oh, wow.
And then we took that and we started to see similarities. So we had about, I'm going to say about 20, 30 things up there. Right. And we started to see similarities and we grouped those together. And so we've come to you with 7 different categories that we're going to really delve into and see what can bubble up to the top and make happen.
Well, I'm really, really excited about hearing about this. So what's the very first one?
Well, the first one is enhancing the consumer experience downtown.
Interesting.
When you think about it, a lot of the things that were on the boards were all about how do we engage people downtown?
Right.
How do we make coming here a really nice experience? So what is that going to involve?
Sure.
And things like the parking garage came up, which John was talking about earlier. Beautifying downtown, taking some of the space that's maybe vacant, making it into parks.
Yes.
We've heard water feature a lot. So those kind of things will be looked at in that group. And they're actually going to meet next Tuesday morning at 9:15. If anybody out there wants to join.
So it's
for
open
that.
to the public for people to come in and make their comments and things. Excellent.
And then the next one was one-stop shop for information.
Okay.
We heard a lot of complaints about how you have to go everywhere to get information.
Are you talking about when people come into town, most people go to the chamber?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that. We've combined a couple different things together. We heard websites. We heard getting information for people that are in Pisgah that don't see Brevard.
Right.
You know, how do we disseminate information to people that are coming here? And that was one of the big key things that kind of bubbled up to the surface.
Excellent, excellent, because I mean that's something that we think about too as a radio station. How do we get people to know about us? So many people come in, they don't even know there's a local radio station, and we're awesome.
Right.
So we're working on that too, so great, excellent.
The next one, and I know this is no surprise to anybody out there, is business cultivation.
Sure, absolutely.
Making it easier for new businesses to get here, evaluating what we have to target businesses to come here. That's what's going to be involved in that category.
Right. Now, how are they looking at doing that? Is there like anything that's kind of come up?
Nothing yet, but part of that's really the economic development focus. I think the county's involved in, the city's involved in, Heart of Brevard's involved in. Everybody's got an economic development, better business, and so this again is a complementary strategy that makes sense.
Right.
It says, let's create a space for citizens to participate.
Mm-hmm.
So while there are all the formal efforts going on, here's a citizen input session to say, what do we want? And it's going to be great to help me in writing our plans.
Of course, absolutely.
And we had a lot of very interested people to be on that group. All right, the next one was Green Initiatives, Sustainability Efforts.
Mm-hmm.
That was on the boards, across the board that night. You were there that night, so
Yes.
it showed up in a lot of different places. In Green Initiatives, like recycling downtown, having bins downtown, or bike racks, and I know a lot of this stuff is already in plans, but
Right.
it's stuff that we're going to flush out and see what else can be done. We even heard about having electric stations for cars.
Oh, how
Electric cars,
interesting.
things like that.
Sure.
So that's going to be all encompassing in that, in the
Right.
green initiatives. Oh, and public transportation as well.
Yes, that's a big thing for a lot of people. I hear about that all the time. Yep.
And that's definitely something we want included in that group. And then the next one is parks and pathways. And yes, that's very broad. We had so many requests for dog park. For obviously the skate park, we had so many skate kids there that first night, and I will tell you that the 14-year-old that was there last night is one of those kids.
Right.
And he's going to be involved not just in parks and pathways. He's decided he's going to branch out, do other things too, and that's one of the great things about these kids is they want to be in the community and they want to show that they're involved, and so they're giving back.
Well, and one of the things that the type of people that I've run into are young mothers that want parks where they can meet each other and the kids can be on the swings and they can visit with each other.
I'm guessing that one of those young mothers is either Becky or Jessica.
It was Jessica.
Yes.
It was, but I mean, that was, we talked about that back at the Bracken Mountain opening.
It's good.
And I thought, man, that's a great idea.
Yes.
So I know she's psyched on that.
Well, and one of the things that kept coming up to the surface is what do we already have? And how are we getting what we already have out to people?
Right.
So that'll be a big part of that discussion
And
too.
rails and trails is in that,
Yeah, sure.
all that. I mean, it really encompasses a lot.
A lot. And the bike path or a path on Brevard. To the,
Right. Yeah,
To the
that's a
bracket
good
and
one.
everything.
That
Yes.
was a big thing that
That's
was
a
in here
good
as
one.
well. And then the next one is year-round community.
Now, what exactly does that mean?
There were so many different ideas up there, but what it came down to is how do we create a year-round community here? You know, we have the season, and then once the season's gone, things kind of really slow down.
Right.
Well, how can we make it every season? Every month, every season is
Right.
season in Brevard. And so what can we do to facilitate that? Does that come through more festivals at
That's what I was
different
wondering.
times?
Right.
Does it come through advertising, mountain biking in the winter? What is going to
That's going to be
bring
a real
people
A
interesting
great
together.
discussion.
topic. Yeah.
Great
All year-
discussion.
all year
Absolutely.
long? So, for those families that want to move here and be here all year long, what are we going to do for them? Or how are we going to make it so enticing that people want to do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one.
And then the last one is Youth Connections. And we saw a lot of different things on the boards about, and we heard this last night, the bowling alley's not here anymore, the skate park's gone,
Right.
where can teens and youths go, what's their outlet, how can we get them involved in the community, are there opportunities for service, like at festivals, can they be involved in that so that they can give back?
Right.
The college really wants to be more involved in the community. How can we build that college community?
Well, I think that's wonderful. I mean, yesterday they had their service day. The
Right.
college had their service day where the returning students or the new students came in and did their service ahead of time, give to their community ahead of time.
Right.
And that's how they got to know their community and more and more. And if our own youth that are here all the time were involved, that would give them a heart connection.
Well, and a sense of responsibility, too.
Sure.
I mean, we have great kids in this town.
Yes, I agree.
I love this town because we have great kids. Well, let's give back to the kids. Let's give them some responsibility. Let's let them buy into the next 15,
Absolutely.
20 years. And so that's what the whole Youth Connections is going to be about, is pulling those kids in and helping them become more a part of the community.
Now, do you have facilitators for all these different topics?
We do, and actually we have at least two for each topic,
great.
because we know that when we start getting into this, 1, 2, or 3 big key things are going to bubble up in each of these groups.
Sure.
And so we wanted to have more than one person so that we could divvy that out.
Right, right.
I talk with my hands, so you can't see what I'm doing.
I usually do too.
But yes, we do. And, if you don't mind, can I just kind of tell you when these groups are going to meet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're getting a little short on time here, so absolutely.
Okay.
Let us know.
Obviously, the consumer experience downtown is Tuesday morning, 9:15. The one-stop shop is Tuesday evening at 6:30.
Now, before you go on, where is this all going to be held?
This is all at the Imagine Brevard Center.
Okay.
The business cultivation is Tuesday at 5:30 in the evening. Green Initiatives next Thursday, so not this Thursday, at 5:30 in the evening. Parks and Pathways next Wednesday at 5:30. And Year-Round Community is 6:30 next Wednesday. The Youth Connections is this Sunday at 4. I wanted to try and get kids before they went to youth groups.
Sure.
And parents on a day when they could come. So anybody Sunday evening at 4 o'clock.
Okay, since you are kind of the main coordinator of all of this, will you please help me as far as getting me the different times and dates?
Oh, absolutely.
So that I can get that into our calendar so that people at least will be hearing that as well.
And for anybody out there, they can go to imaginebrevard.com, and I've got everything in the calendar on Imagine Brevard.
Excellent.
You can join the groups there. If you haven't already signed up, sign up, and you can start joining the groups so that you can start getting all the information that's going on as well.
So there's no excuse for not knowing how to participate.
There is no excuse. And
Excellent.
we're going to do the whole Facebook campaign, you name it, we're going to get the word out as much as we can, but we love that you're helping us so much with this.
Well, I'm psyched on it. Everybody knows that's all they hear about from me. So thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us all this information. And Michael, do you have anything that you want to talk
Yeah, I
about?
mean, how amazing that we have these very 7 broad issues.
Yes.
Great discussions, and it's not being done by the city councils telling us what to do. It's about us talking about what really can happen. What a great resource.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming in this morning and
you.
enlightening our listeners, enlightening me, and keep me posted so that I can be part of it and do as much as I can do.
We're breaking news on WSQL.
You betcha.
That's what we do. It's great. We love the partnership.
All right, thank you, thank you.